Today's show is brought to you by adamandeve.com. Go to adamandeve.com right now and you'll get 50% off just about any item. All you have to do is enter the code word GLORY, Glory, at checkout.
Be advised that this show is not for children, the faint of heart, or the easily offended. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago and beyond. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. This is episode 591 of Cognitive Dissonance. And Cecil, we are recording a mere 3 or 4 days after the last fucking time we recorded, buddy.
Yeah, it's a pretty short turnaround. We have to do an early week this week. This week, though, we had to record early because we are finishing out, we just finished out Vulgarity for Charity 2019. We just recorded with Skating Guys.
You heard that right, 2019.
2019 is going to be on at the end of the show, so be sure to stick around for that. If you're waiting for your roasts, there's a couple of them still at the end of the show here, and we just recorded on Scathing 2. I think that came out before this releases, though. But there's two Vulgarity for Charity segments, and then one more song that's going to be played on a future Scathing, and that's it. We're done for this. And then we get to start our planning for the next Vulgarity for Charity.
You know, I will say, though, as absurd as it is to have spent 2 years meeting our obligations, that's because we raised $306,000 in total.
It's a lot of money.
And we did over 1,100 roasts.
We did. The amount of work that goes into this it's an immense amount of work. And I just want to say, I don't mind at all doing that work. It's 100%.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm grateful to do it. I'm happy to do it. And I'm happy that people donated. But it was an immense amount of work. It was hours and hours and hours and hours of writing. It takes me, on average, 2 hours to 4 hours to write for a script.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at 30 scripts, that's a goodly sum of time that we spent on that. And that's just me. That's not all 5 members of the cast. So it's a lot of work for all of us, but we are happy to do it because people came out in droves to donate.
Yeah, I just think back to that drive sometimes, and I think what an amazing thing that our audience has helped us do.
Yeah, right.
It's such an immense amount of help that was given to some people that really needed it.
For
so
sure.
We're done with that charity drive, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. I know we've done it in the past, but thank you to everybody that donated to Modest Needs.
Yeah.
We love that organization, and you guys really did some good.
Yeah.
So thank you.
They'll be the target again this year.
No, I think actually the reason some people care and some people don't is that some people see the planet as something they have to be grateful for, thankful for, they should nurture and care for it. And other people see the planet as something you stand on. Really? Well, I'm just standing on it. I'll stand on something else if you've got it. You give me something, I'll stand on it, mate. Stand on fucking anything, I don't care.
Well, okay, all right. Who fucking knows when this gets released, what's going to happen? But I can predict one thing, Cecil.
Yeah.
By the time this show gets released, 1 week from the day we recorded, we will not have won the war in Afghanistan. And I will predict that because nobody's ever won a war in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
The British gave it 2 tries.
Yeah.
The Russians gave it a whirl. And then we put a good 20 years into it.
Yeah.
And we just lost the war in Afghanistan. And I just want to be, I think that that's the right terminology. And I want to make sure that to purposefully use it. We lost the war in Afghanistan. We went to war in Afghanistan in 2001 in order to unseat the Taliban, who was providing a base and cover for Al-Qaeda. After the 9/11 attacks, we went in there. We removed the Taliban from their authority position as a government, as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. That's what their government called themselves. It's what they're going to call themselves again, starting tonight. That's what they announced. We unseat them from power. We spent 20 years trying to build a quasi-secular, quasi-democratic government, to build an Afghan army, and we failed. We failed. We walked out the door, and fairly immediately after walking out the door, the Taliban surged and they took every fucking city, and they are in complete control. The president of Afghanistan fled to Tajikistan with carloads of cash, from what I read in the AP. And we accomplished in 20 years fucking nothing. Fucking nothing lasting, Cecil. Absolutely nothing.
And, let's be real honest. The goals of imperialism are to, make a lot of money.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people did in Afghanistan. People made a fucking shit ton of money.
Yep.
There was contractors sent over there. Same thing with Iraq, right? The contractors got sent over there. The money from funding came over. And there was just a lot of money to be made. And it's really just a cash cow to milk fucking money from the government to try to get it into these corporations through government contracts. That's literally all it is. It's what we do. Yeah. And we went over there to make that's why the fucking war happened, man. It happened because there's fucking rich people wanted a war to happen, and they fucking made the war happen. That's it. Yep. And then they milked the fucking teats of the American taxpayer for trillions of dollars.
Trillions. Yep.
And now the people who get to suffer are the people who are over there. They're the ones who get to suffer.
Yeah, man, there's no way to look at Afghanistan and not, I've been thinking about this for a couple of days now. If you just do the fucking trolley problem on Afghanistan, right? Just run this thing as a trolley problem. 9/11 was ostensibly the reason that we invaded Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
So we were saying, okay, 9/11 happened. Al-Qaeda was the group that did that. The Taliban was providing them training ground and cover.
Yeah, okay.
3,000 people died, right? Okay, well, in terms of American contract, if you're just counting American lives first, American contractors and American military, it's about 7,200 people died.
Yeah.
So if you run the trolley problem, we could have had another 9/11 and then another 9/11.
Yeah.
And we still would have been ahead of the game in terms of lost American lives.
Sure.
So if you say we prevented another 9/11, we're still behind on the American body count, if that's the only body count.
That's it. Yeah. If you're, and
right?
I understand you're just doing the trolley problem, and I want people to understand that side. Tom doesn't think like that.
No.
But it's just that you want to make sure to mention.
So just on a pragmatic utilitarian trolley problem basis, if we prevented another 9/11, we're still in the loss.
Yeah.
We're in a loss position, right? The money that we put out, just us putting out, like you said, trillions of dollars. People will tell you all the time. You'll hear it all the time. Wow, we can't pay for this educational program.
Yep.
We can't pay for that medical program. We can't give kids, a free an education or a leg up. We don't want to increase the food stamp benefit, guys. Where's all this money going to come? We find the money when it comes to war.
Nobody ever even asks a question.
Right.
They literally don't even ask a question. They're just like, oh, we're going to fund that? Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to ship money, and that money, to your point, Cecil, a huge amount of that money is just going to float right back over to the friends of the fucking warmongers, right? The guys who own Halliburton and all the rest of these fucking mercenary for hire, military, Lockheed Martin and all the rest of these fucking companies,
money.
Right?
It's just money.
So they're going to shit all this money right back in this great big fucking circle jerk back into themselves, and they fucking invest in it before they vote on this shit. Let's not pretend
absolutely.
they don't.
100%.
Right? And then if you look at 9/11 and you say, holy shit, and I think you should, holy shit, that was a fucking tragedy. That was a tragedy. It cost 3,000 or so human lives. They were innocent lives that were lost that day. That is a tragedy. But if you look at the other side of the equation, we killed about 90,000 innocent Afghans.
Yeah.
90,000.
Yeah, man.
It's 30-1 on the atrocity side.
Sure.
30-1. I'm not talking about military losses, Taliban losses, 60,000 Taliban losses. So if you say war is war, combatants are combatants, we're going to set aside the moral calculus. And I don't think you should, but even if you do set aside the moral calculus there and you count only civilian casualties, you're looking at about 90,000 Afghan lives lost. It's a 3-1 civilian to civilian, 30-1 rather, civilian to civilian basis. How do you justify that morally? You can't justify it in terms of we saved American lives. We didn't. If we prevented 2 9/11s, we're still in a lost position. If we prevented 2 9/11, we could rebuild. We spent trillions of dollars. We could rebuild whatever buildings they could knock down for less than the trillions of dollars we spent going to war. And we didn't have to kill 30 to 1.
Yeah, 30 times the people.
30 times the number of people.
Yeah.
What we're saying is one American life is worth 30 Afghan lives.
Sure.
And then at the end of the whole thing, it meant nothing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the 20-year cycle, what do we get out of it? We got nothing. The Taliban's back in control. Women pay the ultimate price in Afghanistan, just like they did before we showed up. The people who helped America and helped were our translators and contractors and the people who worked for the Afghan army and worked for the coalition government we were trying to build, those people are absolutely fucked. They're just fucked and their families are fucked and they're on a list. And you fucking better believe the Taliban's coming after them because they said they're going to. What the fuck did we get out of this thing, man?
Yeah, well, and who's to blame? All government's to blame.
Everybody.
Everybody's to blame. There's no fucking pick a side on this. Oh, this side did it, this side did it. Now, don't get me wrong. G-dubs fucking ran over there with the army. But fucking Reagan sowed those seeds years ago when he fucking gave all those people all kinds of fucking weapons to fight the Russians, right?
Yeah, he armed the Mujahideen.
He armed them.
Yep.
And then from them came the Taliban. So, we armed those people years ago. So this is not just a G-dub problem, but it is a G-dub problem because he's the one who picked the war. But then Obama kept fucking going.
Yep.
He kept going the whole time. Trump said he was going to leave, and Trump at some point was like going to meet with the Taliban, and it was
they signed a peace treaty with the Taliban.
Yeah, and
that's why Biden's hands were tied.
And then now they're just like, yeah, whatever, we're going to take the whole place over. And here's the thing: Democrats have been playing hawk for way too long.
Yep.
And they do it because it's a rootin' tootin', we're fucking America, hee-haw, poom, 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 shooting in the air. You're shooting the fucking ground like Yosemite Sam to shoot yourself in the air because we recognize that that at least the Democrats recognize you're never going to get a vote if you look weak, right? So they've always been, and don't get me wrong, there's plenty of Democrats out there that are fucking hawks, right? There are plenty of them.
Tons of them.
But there's also a lot that just join on because they realize that if they don't do it, they're going to look like they're weak and their opponent's going to win so that they have to, because our country fucking loves war. We fucking love it. We venerate soldiers. We have at least hundreds of thousands of monuments to soldiers in our country. Like it's like it's a cult. It's literally a cult, and we worship at the feet of the soldier. And so we need to stop doing this to other places on the globe. There's plenty of ways to help out Afghanistan and not be a fucking invading force. There's plenty of ways to do that. And we've never even tried to do anything else. We've never even tried to. And I know that people are going to be like, yeah, but we did this and we built this and we did that and we did this. Yeah, but you did it as an invading force. And that's a totally different thing. There's never a helping hand up. The other thing I want to say too is that right now it's Democrats versus Republicans. The Democrats are trying to spin this as if, this is what we wanted all along. And the Republicans are trying to spin it as if, damn it, how dare you pull us out of there, right? Because now they've removed a page on the GOP website that said that there was a historic deal that Trump put together with the Taliban.
The peace treaty with the Taliban that Trump signed.
Trump talked about it less than a month ago at one of his rallies, where he talked about how Biden's going to get the credit for the thing that he created, right? But they are trying to change history. I don't know if you saw the images of those people trying to leave. That's a heartbreaking thing to watch. But watch them try to leave. Watch the people in Afghanistan try to leave. They're running down the street to get to the airport. They're trying to cling on to the plane to literally carry them on a plane, which you cannot hold on to, by the way. Yeah. There was something that fell from a plane. I was not able to confirm that was actually a person, but there's a plane really fucking high up there that dropped something. And I'm not sure if it's a person or not, but anyway, there's going to be a group of Republicans that are going to look at those people and they're going to be like, oh, how could you look at how terrible our leadership is that we would leave these people there. And I just want to quickly draw a parallel to the people at our southern border who have to do almost the exact same thing to get here. They have to practically cling onto a plane. They walk thousands of miles of desert to get to our fucking southern border to try to get in. And these people, the people that, are on the Republican side, don't give a fuck about those people.
No.
They only care about the fucking soundbite. What does it do for my side? And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what it does for my side on this. There's no way to win this. There was no way. It was damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he stays there, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because you're mired in a war that you didn't start, that you got to continue for the next 20 years. You leave, you're fucked. Because you essentially fucked that whole country because you propped it up with the American government's military.
Yep.
And then you leave and now those people are like, fucking, it's mine now. And they are going through and making it they're turning off every light.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's the fucking 7th century again. The thing, it's like they immediately declared that they are instituting their fucking 1,300-year-old version of fucking Sharia law. They literally went into radio stations and turned off all the music. The music dies in Afghanistan when the fucking Taliban takes over, right? The only thing that's allowed is fucking religious chanting. That's it. Women are back in fucking full body cover-ups,
no more
burqas,
schools.
etc.
Yeah.
No more school. Before 2001, women were not allowed to get an education. And that's the same rule that the American slave owners had for black slaves on plantations, right? You keep people subservient by denying them a fucking education. You deny them access to the ability to read, to write, to better themselves, to understand the world. That is strategic as fuck. That's 51% of their own population. Women are 51, more than half, a little more than half of their population systematically, completely controlled, disenfranchised. They're essentially slaves.
Yeah.
There is no meaningful distinction between women in a 7th century Sharia-controlled society and slavery. I read a story today about a woman who was sick, and she wasn't able to go to the doctor because, and this is Afghanistan and one of the towns that got controlled before Kabul. Kabul fell today. So that's the last stronghold. So she was sick, but the rule was she couldn't leave her house without a male guardian. So she had a daughter. She shaved her daughter's head and dressed her 2-month-old daughter in boy clothes because that counts as a male guardian. Because a 2-month-old male has more social status than a full-grown fucking woman does in this fucking society. It is a horror. The Taliban is a fucking horror. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't.
Yeah, no.
But like,
no,
I do
either.
think that like once you break it, you bought it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have fucking broke it.
Yeah.
But I have a really hard time feeling like once we break it, don't we have a responsibility to it? And just because we don't like the fact that responsibility may never end doesn't change our level of responsibility. You know, we didn't go to Afghanistan for humanitarian reasons. They try to spin it that way after a few years, right? Oh, we're here to build schools for women. We're here to, create democracy.
You're there because you wanted to kick some ass.
We were there for bloodlust.
Yeah.
We were there for vengeance, right? Yeah. That's why we went there. I mean, I remember when George W. stood in front of the whole fucking world and he said, you're either with us or against us. We're going to root you out every cave. And, he did his whole Tommy Lee Jones outhouse, doghouse, henhouse speech, about terrorists. That's why we went there. But once you go there, don't you have a responsibility to what you've broken? And I don't know that you stay there forever, and I don't know that you leave, and I'm not an expert in those kind of politics, but goddamned if I'm not 100% certain who pays the fucking price.
Yeah.
And it's fucking heartbreaking. You look at those pictures of like people packed into these massive transport planes, and these are the people that were lucky enough to get on one. And they're people that like, they spent almost an entire generation, 20 years, helping the American forces who said, we're going to make your world better. We're going to help you build a democracy. And they trusted that. And if they didn't get on that plane, their fucking lives are over, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're just like, yeah, all right, we don't want a forever war. We're out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time. Like, we break it. Didn't we buy it?
I'm with you. Like who takes care of that now? And, fuck, we broke it when we gave them fucking a shit ton of weapons a long time ago.
Right.
You broke it a long time ago. And it's been broke for a long time. And every single time we've gone out into the world to pretend we're peacekeepers, we fucking failed. Like, we feel really fucking badly. For the might and power of the United States government, we sure do get the shit kicked out of us quite often and have to run away. And every single thing that the United States government's army builds fucking falls apart pretty fucking quickly.
Right.
Name a fucking successful military campaign in your lifetime.
It is just such a fucking sad thing to watch. And there's no outcome. There was no outcome from the fucking get-go.
Yeah.
There was not an outcome from the fucking get-go that was ever going to turn out well.
Yeah.
And any student of fucking Afghanistan's history, and let's be really clear, like if you're fucking military, you should be a student of this history.
Fucking A, yeah.
Right? It's not me to read a fucking Atlantic article to tell me about this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you're a goddamn general planning an invasion, you might want to raise your hand and say, you know that lots of people have tried this.
Nobody's ever done this before. Yeah.
It's always been a failure. It's been a failure for literally like 1,000 fucking years. It might be an exaggeration, but it's not much.
Yeah, but it's like fucking invading Russia to go to Moscow.
Right.
It's like, that's stupid.
Let's
do
march,
that.
Winter
do
time's
that.
the time.
Don't do that.
Right.
It's stupid.
Jesus. So sad.
It is, and it's fucking heartbreaking. And if you seek out those images, you're going to see a heartbreaking thing as these people desperate to leave are trying to leave. They just, they and that tells you how great it is under the Taliban, right?
Yeah.
To show the mass exodus, that shows you what you need to know. Every single street is crowded. Every place is fucking 100% packed to try to leave. Nobody wants to be there.
They're fucking terrified. There is a violent minority of people who, and it is a minority. It's numerically, be 100% clear about this. It is a minority, but it is a violent, powerful minority of people that is going to terrorize and control that country for the foreseeable future. And, Trump, as late as like last month or month before, said something like, a vote for Biden is a vote for the forever war, right? So this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Biden has some blame here. I'm not saying he doesn't. He absolutely does. And I want to be clear because I criticized Trump when Trump pulled out of Syria and Iraq and he left the fucking Kurds, our allies, hanging high and dry. And the Russians fucking went in and they fucking took over that whole thing. I criticized Trump for leaving and abandoning our allies with no fucking notice. It's the wrong call. It's not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
This was not the right way to leave Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And maybe, and even though it's fucking really shitty, maybe once you break it, you fucking bought it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And just because that's unpalatable doesn't make it less true.
And why would you be hunting an abandoned warehouse or factory?
Say you tracked this big buck to the outskirts of town and you found that he'd made himself a makeshift home in the bottom of an abandoned warehouse. With a handgun, you could easily sneak up on him and get a death shot. That way he won't be running around with your daughter anymore and filling her head with ridiculous ideas and corrupting her character.
All right.
So, Tom, we just did a concealed carry class. So before, in the past, there's a short that we did where we just finished our concealed carry class in Chicago, and we wanted to talk about the experience that we had. So we recorded an episode right afterwards. It turns out in Illinois, after like 4 years.
4 or 5 years,
you have to get you have to re-up. And it's not like a license, like a fucking regular driver's license. They make you go to another class. You have to take another refresher class, and you have to pay that person to teach you the refresher class, and you have to pay another X amount of dollars to the state, and then you have to wait for your replacement card to come in the mail. And so Tom and I took a refresher course. And so the refresher course, I met a guy at a local, there was one of these county fair things going on. So I'd never been to a county fair, so I figured I'd go.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking through, there's a whole place where you're walking through and there's just a million people hawking at you. It's just, they're trying to sell you flooring, trying to sell you fucking Costco, trying to sell you T-Mobile.
Every other one is a chiropractor. I already know that. I've already been there.
And then at the end is a quiet guy and his wife, and they got a bunch of people, like a bunch of images of people shooting guns. And the guy looks 100% like, an NRA guy. And so I walk up and I say, and he's got a concealed carry thing. And I said, do you teach the refresher course? And he says, I sure do. And now Tom and I were looking for these courses, and they're, a good close to $200 a piece to get into them. This guy's teaching it for $75. And so I was like, $75 is better than 200, and he lives close by. And so I was like, well, why don't we try to take this course? And I set up a course with him. He sets up a special course for Tom and I to come over to his house. And I'm thinking we're going to go to like a place where there's like a pole barn, or, we're going to rent out a room at the Y or something. We are not at the Y, Tom.
No.
Where were we?
I drive up, and it's like a Saturday morning or Friday morning or whatever it is, like 8 o'clock. And I drive up to the address that like I've got on my fucking GPS. And it's just like some dude's house in the middle of like a country lane. And I pull up and there's a fucking, first of all, there's a fence with the biggest dog I have ever seen in my the dog was a horse dog.
It was a huge dog.
If it had 2 more heads, it would have been fucking Cerebus.
100%.
That dog is the fucking biggest dog I've
rode
ever seen.
on its back in the Neverending Story.
You could ride that thing into battle. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's fucking enormous. This huge husky wolf horse thing was there. And then this dude is just in his front yard, and I swear to God, he's got fucking like overalls. He is like a character out of a fucking movie. He is like a stereotype made of other stereotypes. And he's super fucking nice. He's like the nicest guy ever. So we chit chat for a little while. Cecil comes up and he's like, all right, well, let's do our thing. And so we go into his house and we go into this guy's living room. Just his living room. And he's got old man living room. And I know that my dad has old man living room. He's got old man living room. So it's like a Barca lounger, like 6 feet away from the TV because the vision's not so good, with like TV tray tables. It's everything you think it is. And then Cecil and I are set up at actual like old-fashioned card tables.
100% card
like
tables.
Like card tables with like a folding chair. He gets one, Cecil gets one, I get one. The dog is bigger than the card tables and comes bounding in, and then this guy is just teaching us concealed carry shit.
He plugged his laptop into his computer.
Into his TV.
And then he just did a PowerPoint presentation. And so now I want to talk about 2 things. One is when we took the course downtown, the guy who taught that course was fucking Dirty Harry's cousin.
Oh my God, yes, he was.
He could not stop talking about perpetrators and how you're going to pull out your gun. And if you pull out your gun, make sure no matter what, even if you weren't fighting for your life, to say you were fighting for your life. He's telling us ways to like get around murder charges.
Right. Yep.
It was the creepiest, scariest fucking thing ever.
Yep.
And he's in the middle of Chicago. And so when we came out here, I'm thinking, oh my God, this course is going to be fucking Yahoo, shooter, whatever, McGavin. And don't get me wrong, this guy did on a couple occasions break into that NRA good guy with a gun stuff. And he did do it a couple times. But for the most part, it was a relatively controlled speech that he gave, which at a certain point, he even said, if you have a lot of ego and you're a macho guy and you think you're a tough guy, you don't need a gun.
Right.
Like he literally said,
appreciated that a lot.
100% appreciated it. It was a couple of times. But he also did do what the other guy did, which is talk about when that guy was saying like, I forget what the other guy said, but this guy used the phrase fog of war.
Yeah, he said fog. He
said fog of war several times. Don't load your gun. Don't put your gun in a holster on your side. And during the fog of war, you want to make sure there's no bullet in the chamber and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's not fog of war, dude. First off, I'm probably never, ever going to shoot anybody. But if I do, that's not a war. I shot a guy. That's not a war.
He also indulged in, and I think you have to in order to buy into the whole concealed carry thing. He also several times indulged in that narrative of a shootout.
Yeah.
Right.
And also bad guy, good guy.
Bad guy, good guy. And he said the word shootout one time, like there's going to be like some OK Corral shit going on. And he's got a gun and I got a gun. And it's who draws faster, partner. And like, it's just like, first of all, man, there's no world where I'm ever, like I have the license to have the license.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm just keeping that.
Yeah.
But there is no world where I would put a gun on my hip and walk around. I can't imagine. That makes you so much less safe.
It's so vulnerable. I feel so vulnerable with it. Yeah. When it's in my car, when it's near me, I always feel vulnerable.
Yeah, that gun makes me vastly less
safe. That gun
safe.
just sits in my safe. Right. I don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I rarely shoot it.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a narrative that these guys really believe that at some point there's a good chance in their minds that they're going to get involved in some kind of deadly altercation. I'm like, bro, this guy's 74 years old, and I guarantee that guy's never been in a fucking shootout.
And also,
so if I can make it to 74 without getting in a shootout, I feel like that's a pretty good odds.
It's also like, it's that thin blue line lie that there's the one thing that's saving us from chaos is the thin blue line of the police officer.
Right.
And it's the same thing here. It's like the one thing that's stopping all the marauders from stealing everybody's goods is that they could occasionally run across a guy with a concealed carry permit. And so they don't do it. And it's like, bullshit. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. It's a dumb idea. But there's that bullshit mentality of, that guy's got a gun and you got a gun and, there's going to be this shootout and there's a language that they all seem to use. This guy was much less rootin' tootin' than the guy downtown and much less, very much less, in my opinion, telling you how to avoid murder charges.
Yeah, the first class was a lot of time spent on that.
The first class spent so much time trying to like getting you to memorize all the things you need to say so you don't get murder charges because they expect that you're going to shoot somebody. He kept saying like, do not ever pull your gun out. The new guy new guy I'm talking about, the new guy that just taught this class. He kept saying over and over, do not ever pull this gun out if you do not intend to use it, and you should be very, very certain that it is a life or death situation. He made sure to emphasize that way more than the first guy did.
He did. He also talked about like the best bet is to retreat. If you do something, like it's probably going to cost you everything in your life.
Everything. You should leave.
It was good.
He was. I appreciated it. He 100% said your ego's not worth it. You shouldn't. He's like, you should try to get away, and that's not something I even heard the first time I took that class. So very good. But tragically, I want to explain the process here. Here's what I had to do to get my fucking renewal. Now, I had to pay money for this. I had to pay $75, and then I had to pay $150 to renew the fucking concealed carry. What I had to do to get that renewal was I had to watch a 2.5-hour PowerPoint, a 3-hour PowerPoint. We had to do it was 2.5 hours because we only spent a half an hour shooting. Yeah. So you have to spend a 3-hour minimum time frame doing the work. It's a 2.5-hour PowerPoint. There is no test. There is no questions. There is no review.
No, you just have to be looking.
Literally have to be in the same room as it.
Yep.
You don't even have to look at it because at a certain point he's like, you guys want to look at your phones or something? You can't even. Yep. He said, he's like, I'm not going to tell you guys to hide your phones. It's a small class. I'm sure you guys are busy or whatever. And so he let us have our phones in front of us. And a couple times I had to text during the thing because I was talking to somebody else. But seriously, you don't even have to pay attention. And then the only test you have to take.
Oh my God, I know.
Is you have to go to the fucking firing range with this guy. He rents a line in the range. And then you have to, at 5, 7, and 10 yards. And now for people who aren't in the fucking English system or the whatever imperial system that we are, that's 5. It's
15 feet.
It's 5 meters. It's less than 5 meters.
Right.
It's less than 5 meters because a yard is shorter than a meter. It's less than 7 meters and it's less than 10 meters.
Yep.
You have to shoot 10 times at each station and you have to get a total of 21 shots into the black part of a target, an NRA-sized target, which is human size.
Huge. It's huge. 21 out of 30 is a passing fucking
Tom and
score.
I didn't miss it. Tom and I were both in the closest, like very close areas where you 100% passed.
Fucking 5 yards away is 15 feet. You could fucking almost reach out and poke it with a fucking broom.
You could hold it with one hand and just like butterfly the trigger
and hit that.
It's
a fucking
unbelievable.
Joke.
It's unbelievable.
Illinois is the hardest state to get a concealed carry permit.
That's the thing that's crazy.
And like the other thing I want to talk about is how much time he spent trying to keep you safe if you have a fucking concealed carry from law enforcement. A huge amount of the time. And I think rightfully so. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, this is why you shouldn't have a gun.
Yeah.
Everything he's saying, like at one point he said something like, well, and you never know who's armed. And I'm thinking, that's the problem. Yeah. You're making it worse by me sitting in your living room.
Yeah, by giving other people a chance. Yeah.
To that. But he spent so much time like telling you what to say to the cops. Like if you're driving and the cop pulls you over, you're not supposed to say like, I have a concealed carry permit and I have a gun. And you're not supposed to say that because you don't want like some trigger happy fucking Yahoo to hear the words, I have a gun, and just start opening fire on you.
Yeah.
Because America. So you're supposed to say something along the lines of, I have a concealed carry permit and I am carrying today.
Yeah.
Right? So that the words, I have a gun, are never uttered, so that trigger happy fucking murderous cops don't shoot you for no fucking reason. There was a lot of time spent on how to not get murdered by the police.
It was not exaggerating, non-exaggeration here. It was 30 minutes of time. It was 30 minutes of time where we spent, at that point, what is that? That's a fifth of the time.
Right.
A fifth of the time just sitting there listening to because every police officer is like a fucking wild bear. And you've got to treat every cop like they're a wild bear and they will just open fire. And it's weird because there's this weird cognitive dissonance that's happening in this guy who 100% is talking about how he loves law enforcement.
Yeah.
He even had like a little acronym for them. Leo.
Called him Leos.
Law enforcement officer. So he had Leos. He's like, Leos, and he's talking about how great Leos are and how this and that. And that. But at the same time, he's talking about how fucking trigger happy and terrified you should be if you get pulled over.
And the whole time, I'm like, that whole class was just a list of reasons not to conceal carry.
It was 100% that. That's exactly it.
It's like 3 hours of...
imagine carrying after
Holy shit. And then when you get to the list of the 24 places and their categories of places...
No kidding.
...where you can't, by law, carry your gun, and then if you do, it's a felony, and if you just, like, make a mistake by not having the right card in your wallet, or you didn't update the fucking, like, address on your card because you moved last month or whatever, like, everything's a felony.
Yeah.
So, like, the cops are going to shoot you. Some other dude's going to see your gun and get scared that you got a gun and take you out first if there is a fucking event. And then everything's a fucking felony. Yeah. And then if you use your gun, like, it's going to ruin your fucking... The whole time is a fucking masterclass on why would you have this thing?
And every single place, Tom's right, there's like 25 places that you can't carry your gun. And it's literally all the places.
It's everywhere you would want to go.
It's everywhere you would want to go that you would think maybe you might be in it might be a place where, I don't know, something could happen there and I don't want to get, but at the same time, you hear all these places. It's like every single place that's ever smelled alcohol.
Right.
You can't ever take the gun. You can't take it on CTA. You can't take it on places it's like no parks, no
like public land, like no, like
a million places. And it sucks. It's a stupid thing to carry it anyway. But like, even if you thought like in your brain that you were trying to protect yourself, I don't see why you would ever fucking use this thing because you can't carry it. And you constantly have to go back to your car. And put it out. And then he's got this whole thing where there's certain places where you can't even have it on your person, stand up and take it off your person outside the car because you could get a felony. And I'm just like, well, God, why would I carry it then? It's the worst idea.
I didn't even want to drive it to the range. Yeah. Like, I was like, fuck's sake. What is wrong? It is the dumbest fucking thing that you could possibly carry on your person. The whole class, I'm like, why the fuck are you teaching this? Are you subtly telling it? But I don't think so. Yeah. I think he really thinks, and I think he's a genuine, honest person. And I think he really believes that narrative that he is protecting his family. But I'm like, but if I follow your rules, there's no place that this would be used. Like, I could take it to my friend's house.
You could be
go
strapped,
to the grocery store.
You could be strapped like fucking, what's that fucking big meathead? Crowder. You could be strapped like Crowder in the studio.
Right.
But you're in a studio, you idiot. Like, who cares?
I know.
So there's not a place.
God, it's
there's not a place. And there's so many places in Illinois that since this became a thing, they immediately put up signs. Like, fuck you. Like, you didn't have so many places.
Everywhere
the week after it became a thing, the place we were renting space at in Glory Hole Studios had the sign.
Had the sign on the door. Couldn't take it to the studio.
Couldn't take it to the studio. Yep. You could not take the gun to the studio. Why would you? But still, you couldn't.
Nope.
Right? So there's it just doesn't make any sense. And like you say, it feels like a self-aware wolf. Like, you're so close. You're so fucking close, dude. Yeah. You're so close. It feels like all he needs is a nudge, because there's so many moments where I thought, you hear you, right? You hear that this is a bad idea, right? But anyway, these people, they love this idea of carrying a gun, and it's a very American thing to carry a gun. It's a very American idea to have guns. And so they love this thing, and they want to have it, and they want to keep it. But for 2 times in a row, I could not be more surprised at how we had to take a test when we got our first one. But I don't even think that test was required now.
No, I think he just
gave it to us just to see who he was going to sign off on, because I don't think that there's a test required. And there was no test required here except for a shooting test. And it's just such a scary thing that everybody did the same thing I do, that they can carry guns.
I will say one thing that I thought was like kind of adorable about this older guy. And I thought he was going to go in a different direction. So there's one time where he's about to describe, and you can sense where the sentence is going. He's about to describe this sort of ne'er-do-wells that one might be protecting oneself from, right? And he's got this whole, like, if you see a woman getting raped in a dark alley,
you can shoot him or something.
Like, it's like Batman or some shit.
Yeah, he's got like a Batman complex going on.
But he's like an older guy. And I thought for a second, like, oh my God, there's going to be some fucking coded racist language here. But instead he's like, some some kid in
some street
tough in a leather jacket. I was like, oh, it's like when there's a jet, you're a jet. He's got this like old school.
Yep. He's 100% thinking of a greaser.
Yep.
He's thinking a greaser is the threat. And it was charming.
It was charming. It was like adorable. I wanted to reach out to him, be like, it's not 1948.
I'm so happy you're not a racist.
I know.
Like,
I
was
love
just
that
like
part.
so happy you're not a racist. But
he also talked about citizens arrest, Cecil.
yeah, he did a couple times. Yeah,
Citizens arrest. What world are we in where he's talking about like, well, if you choose to do a citizen's arrest, here are all the problems that might arise from that.
And the problems were so unreal. And at the end, he's like, and if it goes to a civil court, you can basically get charged with fucking like imprisonment and kidnapping
shit.
And they can take literally all your shit. And I'm just like, why on earth would I ever do that?
What is happening here?
Holy shit, why would I do that? It was crazy.
But you know what you can have in Illinois because of your concealed carry now? The most exciting thing. In Illinois, a concealed carry lets you have a switchblade.
You can have a switchblade. No, a Foyd does.
A Foyd.
So you could just have a regular Foyd.
Yeah, you can have a switchblade. Because again, it's 1950s greaser time. Pony Boy and you can get into it.
It was crazily written in as one of the amendments because somebody, the big switchblade lobby wanted to make sure that was in there. But anyway, that's what we did. We'll probably tell you about it again in another 5 years.
It was so funny.
Crazy.
It was so funny.
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
Tom, we read Demon Haunted World Chapter 5, Spoofing and Secrecy. And this chapter starts out talking about, essentially talking about UFOs and what a UFO is. And again, how it's so always tied to the idea of the flying saucer and the visiting aliens. UFO is almost synonymous with that. You can't say UFO nowadays without evoking that idea. It talks about all the different things that we found in the past that we thought were, UFOs and also, visitation from other, and then turned out to be nothing. Spends a lot of time on Roswell talking about this.
A lot, yeah.
And about weather balloons, how weather balloons are, weather balloons very often are mistaken for this. And I have a quick story about a balloon I'll get to in a second. I want to finish the synopsis real quick. And then he gets to the end of the chapter and he has a really important message. And I really liked the way this chapter sort of finished, because what he says at the end essentially is, we shouldn't just throw things out and say that they're nothing. Something is being seen. There is something we're seeing.
Right.
We shouldn't just say there's nothing. And we shouldn't just 100% say that there's nothing happening, because there is things happening. And the more that we do deny these things out of hand as skeptics, the more that we do that, the more chance we have of being fooled by the government and things like that are actually putting, doing things like, these projects that are throwing weather balloons in other places, trying to send weather balloons across Russia, trying to send supersonic jets through the atmosphere. All these times that we just wave away, there is something. And it could be natural phenomenon. It could be super low chance that it's fucking visitation from another planet that the government is hiding from us.
Right.
But when we hand wave that away, that makes us not only look like assholes, but it also makes us, in some ways, susceptible to being tricked.
Yeah, I think two things really stood out for me in this chapter. The first is that the first 3/4 of the chapter really felt like a example masterclass on Occam's razor.
Right.
You've got some choices to make in terms of deciding what seems most likely. Is it that we're in the middle of a Cold War at the time that a lot of these sightings happened, and there's going to be testing of the sort of defenses between Russia and America, and that's going to involve some people flying some sorties maybe into American airspace, and then, the Air Force not wanting to say, I didn't know what that was, and so they legitimately deny knowledge, and so now you have a craft which was reported, and Occam's razor is an important part of being a skeptic. Yeah. It's an important part of being a skeptic. Which is more likely? And he goes through these different scenarios, and they're all vastly more likely than some beings from another planet mastering the challenges of interstellar space travel and showing up to zip around mostly unseen and occasionally like fuck with your prostate,
us up
right?
And shoot stuff up our ass.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. And I thought, to your point, Cecil, the sort of last third or quarter of the chapter was really like, look, what's important is that we find out what is true. And what is true is not being dismissive, and it's not being credulous. It is seeking to find out what is actually happening. And if we are entirely credulous, that's one end of the spectrum. That's a fucking problem, right? That means, you know, we're believing in a whole bunch of bullshit that isn't true. But if we are dismissive, that's just the opposite end of the spectrum of credulity. And that's problematic too.
Yeah.
The goal of a skeptical mind should be to seek to find what's true based on the evidence provided.
Sure.
And dismissiveness is not helpful. Credulity is not helpful.
You know, what he talks about too, is there's a point where he discusses how something was delivered to a reporter about sort of blurry photographs and a description that was supposed to be a declassified news, or not news, a declassified, and it wasn't declassified, it was a classified military record was supposed to be delivered to this person. This was a forgery that he clearly thinks is a forgery. It was, you know, blurry photos and a description, and it was all written in such a way to make it seem like it was this big, you know, conspiracy being delivered to this person, who then wrote about it and, you know, sort of searched about it and then did some digging about it and stuff like that. And it occurred to me when I was reading that how sophisticated you had to be back then in order to trick somebody and troll somebody. How sophisticated you had to be. Because Q is literally a guy typing at his computer something that hasn't happened yet.
Right. It's just 4chan
and he somehow gets somebody to believe it. Not just somebody's, a lot of somebody's to believe it.
Right.
Whereas this person went through all this trouble to, you know, type things out
to
and
manufacture
take photos
evidence.
And, you know, to basically manufacture evidence and everything and just slide it in. And it struck me as one of those moments where it's like, I wonder what Carl would think. Because you don't want to, you know, when somebody says they see something, you don't want to just out of hand say it's nothing, right? You want to be, but what would Carl think about Q? That's what I wonder, because that's clearly bullshit, right? It's clearly bullshit. It's an anonymous board. It's been shown time and time again that every single prediction is false. There's nothing happens. Nobody on the inside knows anything. It's all Nostradamus language. Right. It's like, you know, and it's always moving the goalposts, pushing it further down the line. It's all bullshit. But I wonder where he would come in on that. As, you know, as somebody who we know is a skeptic, but also somebody who says, let's look at the evidence. You know, I wonder if he would stop and say, okay, well, that's the evidence. What I just said was the evidence, and that's evidence. And
I kind of feel like he'd be fucking heartbroken.
Yeah, I think
because like in the 90s, you needed to manufacture evidence. We're just past even needing evidence.
We don't even need it anymore.
We're like, well, we'll take any rumor.
Literally doesn't matter.
Give me a rumor from an anonymous source on a fucking internet message board.
I want to talk about the balloon thing, though, because I was in Chicago, I think, or New York. I don't remember where. I was in a big city. And I was walking down the street, and I was walking down, and I had my headphones in. And some guy stopped me. And I figured he was going to ask me for directions. That happens all the time. I have a face of someone who thinks they knows where I'm at.
To be fair, you have an excellent sense of direction. It was probably me.
But in any case, the guy's like, hey, do you see that up there? And I look, and there's a red dot in the sky. And it's moving weird. It's like, vup, 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 vup. And now it's daytime.
Right.
And I'm seeing this thing it's moving strange. It's like zipping this way and this way. And it's clearly because there's big buildings. Mm-hmm. I was in Chicago because I remember I was like, when it was over the lake, I couldn't tell where it was. Right.
Because you lost
but then it moved in front of a building. Right. And I was like, oh, it's closer than the buildings is what I said to him. And I said, I'm not sure, but maybe a bag or something or a piece of paper. And he's like, no, I don't think it's a piece of paper. And then a guy walks by, pulls his headphones out, looks up and goes, "It's a balloon." And then he puts his headphones and he walks past. And he was right. When you looked at it from where I was, it's hard to tell what it was because a balloon is round. There's some parts of it are brighter than others because of the way light works. You know, it's just like there's a shine to it. It's just hard to tell what it was. And it was moving weird. I mean, it was moving weird because wind currents in Chicago move things weird.
Right.
And so it was zipping back and forth. It was going up and down. It's kind of going all over the place. But it was a helium balloon that somebody lost control of, and it was flying through the air. And it genuinely looked. I wasn't going to say it looked like a spacecraft,
right?
But it was something that it was definitely a UFO until that guy came by and told me it was a balloon. I didn't know.
Right.
But there's a big part of this chapter where Carl's talking about like, yeah, man, balloons can be fucking weird, and they can float weird, and they can do weird shit, and they can trick a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we used balloons, and then the Soviets used balloons, and we still use balloons for lots of different stuff, for military stuff, for weather stuff, for radar stuff, just for stuff. Balloons are a cheap way to get stuff high up, but they weigh almost nothing.
Yeah.
And as a result, to your experience, they move around much more easily than things that have to be propelled through the air by their own forces and have inertia, right? There's very little inertia to a fucking balloon. And they have very little mass.
It gets whipped around,
Right.
There's also a story in my in-laws' family about, and I'm not really sure because I always kind of tune this story out. I'll be perfectly frank, I tune this story out. But it's something about like at a certain time of year every year, they can see in the forest, there's a weird glow that comes back every year. It happens every year. And around a certain time of year, they see the glow and they always attribute it to something supernatural. Like my family, my in-law family always attributes it to something supernatural. But I think like, I shouldn't just dismiss it, right? I shouldn't just say, "Oh, come on, that's not, get the fuck out." But I kind of do.
Right.
Because I think there is something. But I 100% think it's probably atmospheric or it has to do with the moon or something like, because if it's happening every year, it probably happens at the same time every year, the same time that there's a tilt of the earth at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like there's almost certain that it's some sort of like, I don't think it's meteorological. I think it's astronomical in some way that there's something that's happening, right? But I think that there is that you know, like very often in my life, I've been the guy who's been like, "Come on, that's bullshit. There's nothing there. Come on, get the fuck out of here." But there is something. You know, you hear something in the middle of the night. There's something there.
Sure.
It's not what you think. It's not the murderer. It's not the guy from Scream. It's not the fucking little girl from The Ring. It's none of those things.
Whenever you hear that, that's a fox.
Yeah.
All of the things you just described, that's what foxes sound like.
But seriously, you don't, I mean, it could be, it's
right.
You know, it's something, but it's probably something completely harmless and innocuous, or, you know, you didn't put something far enough on a counter and it eventually fell off or something. You know what I mean? There's a million things that happen, little things that happen where something, you know, something happens in your house where you're just like, what was that? But there was something, but it probably wasn't the thing that was, you know, that you should be alarmed about. And I think that that's the message I got out of this is like, there is something.
Yeah.
There's something that these people are seeing, these people that are driving. I remember there's been a couple times in my life I saw one time I mistook the moon in a puddle for something floating.
I remember you telling me.
I saw that. There was another time I mistook a seagull for a flying saucer when I was a kid. So there's been times in my life I've fooled myself, right? It's not hard, but it was clearly something that was mundane about my world. It was not something that was extraordinary.
I think too, that one thing that I took from this chapter is experts can be fooled. Regular lay people can be fooled. The point is to find out what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but if we leap to a supernatural conclusion, we're jumping over the fact that literally nothing has ever been proven to be supernatural. Right. So that bar is so high to get over. Before I get to supernatural, I have to exhaust every possible natural conclusion.
All the natural.
And if I don't exhaust every single possible, even the most unlikely natural conclusion, I have leapt into a world that has not yet one time ever been proven to have happened.
Yeah.
And the same is true of aliens. The same is true of all that stuff, right? I'm willing to go there, but it is necessarily at the very bottom of the list.
And it's the hardest, it's the highest bar to get there because you've got, like you said, you've got to climb over all that other stuff. And, you know, Carl hasn't gotten into it as much. He has in a couple of previous chapters, but it's very clear that we want to believe this stuff.
Well, yeah, we're primed to.
We want to believe it. We want to convince ourselves that it's real because it's exciting. Because it's exciting, or it confirms the biases that were given to us by our parents or by our friends. There's reasons why the human mind wants to believe this stuff. And there has been some hint of it earlier, but we'll probably get into more of it as the book goes on. So next week is chapter 6. Join us for chapter 6 of Demon Haunted World. We're having a great time reading this. I'm just loving this book. I'm really enjoying it. So join in the fun, join in the comments, join in with Tom reading it for patrons, and we'll be reading chapter 6 next week.
Gary, you know what the ads need?
What?
Jingles, a tune, some sort of melodically histrionic dissertation.
The fuck does that mean?
Look, the listeners seem to like when we add songs or music, so let's do that.
Okay, fine, like what?
Well, I have a couple ideas. Here's a new song I was writing. Come together right now, Adam and Eve.
Stop. I thought these were original songs.
They are.
Okay, sure, Ian. Next.
Okay, here's a new, moody one. And you can tell everybody this is your thong.
Jesus.
You got it at AdamandEve.com.
No.
Use code GLORY. What was wrong with that?
Next, Ian. Next.
Okay, try this.
Your own personal dildo.
No.
Okay, you'll like this one. When you want to come, it's AdamandEve.com. Use code GLORYSOME for free stuff.
Damn it, Ian. It's 2021 and still with the Rickrolling.
All right, I got a better one. Somebody once told me...
No, absolutely fucking not.
Okay. I was working on another one, but you have to let it breathe.
Okay.
Promise?
Yes, fine.
Welcome to the ad break. AdamEve.com. Did I mention that our goal's for you to get it on? They've got thousands of products. You'll love them, of course. You know our promo code is GLORY. This ain't your first time. Welcome to the ad break. Come and stroke your meat on a sex swing with a cock ring and a dildo between your feet. Choose a product. Get half off 6 free movies to score. You like free shipping? Well, of course you do, whore. Get a sexy free product for you and one for them, and a third one you can both use on your curious roommate gym. Get a Liberator, nipple tickler, mega 12-inch cock extender, one clitoral stimulator, sucky dick, dual penetrator with bumper. Here's some dildo cleaning spray. You should buy host thongs. Get a strapless strap-on ball gag on with a purple dong. Which pleasure will you choose from? All thanks to GLORY. Use promo code at checkout. Adam and Eve will make you come. Can I interest you in getting fucked some of the time? A little bit of getting fucked some of the time. Flick your bean or stick your wiener and enjoy an anal teaser. Most of you enjoy some fuck some of the time. Can I interest you?
You really think that Adam and Eve wants that song attributed to their company? It's like all about the subversive and mesmerizing nature of modernity and the illusion of internet compartmentalization.
No, I'm just using it as a contrafactum, utilizing its melodic popularity by changing the words to fit my point of view. It's not an endorsement of the prior work's interpretation or a reflection thereof.
Sure, but it's essentially a show tune from a specific musical focused on a particular set of themes, and attempting to decouple the melody from its overarching message seems contrived and counterproductive.
Fine. We'll go back to this. Give me those anal beats, pull them out slowly, please. I'm gonna get on my knees and use code GLORY.
Jesus, remember when I used to sing the songs?
Yeah, but I think I'm more relatable.
That doesn't sound likely. Yeah. Remember to use code GLORY at AdamandEve.com.
All right, so this is the last Vulgarity for Charity on this show for the fundraiser we did in 2019. Yep. It's been almost 2 years and a hell of a ride, but we are finally at the end of the roast. We wanted to close out the session with the guys that invited us to be part of this to begin with, the Scathing Atheists Heath and Matt.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you, Cecil. Always happy to pass 40% of the work on to you guys.
And Eli's also here.
Yes.
He came on.
Oh, okay, I get it. Needs to let his best friend have his own intro. I see what you're doing, Cecil. I appreciate it.
Eli tries really hard, though. A for effort, right?
Okay, first up, a choice, Heath. You get to roast Kylie or an image of a pile of puppies. Pick your poison.
All right, I'm going to go with the pile of puppies because they're so stupid. They're so dumb. Look at them. My face needs to go here right now. But why, though? Why does your face need to go there right now? What happens? What win is it when you wedge your face into that new spot? Shut up. I heard perfectly normal sound. There's a perfectly normal sound over here. It's over here. I'm checking it, boss. Okay. I'll go over here. I got it covered. Okay, my face needs to go here right now. Right under your hand with a full glass of wine. Right now. They're so dumb. They're the best.
All right, Tom.
All right.
Madeline would like one of your signature destroy you as a person style roasts for her horrible father, Paul.
Oh, God. All right. Madeline, your father is afraid of you. That's just the straight truth. He's fucking terrified of you. He was afraid of you when he played that bullshit absentee game when you were a baby, and he's afraid of you now. He's a fucking coward, Madeline, because all he sees when he sees you is a reflection of his weakness and his failure. And that reflection is big and bright and loud and glaring, and it is everything about him. He's not an asshole to you because of you or anything about you, Madeline. He is an asshole because you are the walking strength that reaches into the tiny dark space where he is hiding inside of himself, and it absolutely crushes him. He is an asshole because he can only quiet the voice in him that whispers on repeat every moment that he is nothing by yelling louder than the demons which tell him the truth of his own insignificance. Ignore the noise, Madeline. It's sound and fury to be sure, but it is still nothing.
Okay. Well, we should give other people roast for dogs instead of just piling this all on Heath. So, Noah, can you roast this dog, Wesley, for Karen? They wanted the How Do Heretic guys, the uncles, to do this, so maybe try to make it not funny. I don't know.
All right, I'll see what I can do, but this is not an animal-shaped creature. Okay, it's going to be tough. It looks like something. You remember, like in the early 2000s, when badly drawn became a cartoon genre?
Yes.
It looks like something from one of those. It looks like somebody had to put together a dog quick using only what they had available. You know, like the thing to your left is a dog now or whatever. It's a fucking show dog, too. I can only assume that means there's some kind of show themed around, look at the shape of this fucking head. This is scored entirely on unexpected eye placement. I thought this thing was fucking photoshopped. It really did.
Eli, we know how much you like Twitter fights. Can you roast Chad Prather or @WatchChad on Twitter for Slippy?
Oh, Jesus. I literally had to ask my wife to log me into Twitter to read this asshole's tweets. Oh, if one could live the country music lifestyle, Chad is living that lifestyle. He looks like the kind of guy who asks where his good Monster Energy hat is on date night. I'm kidding. Obviously, no one wants to date Chad, so date night is just him sitting in the parking lot of Wing Street, which everyone knows is Pizza Hut, Chad. You're not fooling us. Just yelling into his front-facing camera about how Biden will never make him take a vaccine. Okay. This next one is for Clint. Cecil, roast Maureen Walsh, the Washington state senator who said nurses are probably playing cards all day.
That's so nice. Oh. Can a state senator talk about work ethic to literally anyone? You work fucking 6 days a quarter, man. Your arduous job consists of you sitting and listening to things. Occasionally, you may have to raise your hand or lift a pen. Many times in my life, I heard the phrase dedicated nurse. But the words I'm about to say have never been uttered in this order in a genuine way in human history. Hardworking Republican senator. Okay, this next one is for Anonymous K. They would like their boss, Barbara, roasted. Hit it, Heath.
Okay, so we didn't get a photo. I'll give it a shot anyway. Barbara looks like a A well-known cartoon character with a funny-sounding disease got fucked by an amorphous concept somehow. Also, despite being a low-level branch manager at a bank, Barbara is a ninja spy in her own head, apparently, and she thinks people are following her all the time, so she literally takes a different route home every day.
Oh,
now,
wow.
I hate to ruin your thing, but if somebody's following you, they just follow you. They don't get confused because you mixed it up that day.
They're just like, at a certain point, they're just like, oh, we're following a crazy person.
They're not like Daffy Duck where you reverse the order of right and left in a conversation. No, they just follow you.
What do you guys think? Should we just ambush her when she gets home, the place she goes every day? Yeah, let's just ambush her.
Oh, it is. That's the end of all this switching up.
Tom, another special request.
Yep.
Amy would like her uncle-in-law, Chris, to get a signature beating.
Holy fucking shit. Your Uncle Chris is like one of those cringe comedy villains where everything he does is so insanely awful that it somehow transcends the comedy itself until you want to hide your face from the TV so you don't have to witness the oblivious slow motion self-destruction. Witness it, Arnie. Revel in it. Because fuckers like your Uncle Chris, they will blow hard their way through the world because they can. Because they confuse being outrageous and self-righteous with being useful. But he's not useful. He is a black hole of meaning and purpose. He is so obsessed with making you and everyone around you feel uncomfortable because he knows when he wakes up that if he doesn't find some way to put that feeling, that he has no reason to have bothered with the effort of opening his eyes again for one more pointless fucking moment, one more meaningless day onto someone else, that he just won't bother the next time. So see that shit for exactly what it is. And next time he tries that shit, just look him in the eye so he knows you've got him fucking pegged and call him on it out loud. Strip away just one layer and he'll know you see the purposeless void that is his stupid fucking life. Call him out on it and fucking yawn.
Good Lord, man.
Okay, Cecil, this next one. All right, Cecil, this next one is for Aaron. He wants you to roast his coworker, Dave.
Okay, hey, Dave. I know you're a 46-year-old virgin waiting for marriage, so it's probably a lot better for your sanity to think that you're the one controlling the spigot of sex that would easily be pouring all over you if you wanted. You're totally a vol cell, not an incel. I mean, what sane woman wouldn't drown herself in her own juices when she saw you in your tap-out shirt holding your Christian CD collection? Save some for the rest of us, big guy. Wow. All right, John requested a roast of their mom.
Oh, it's so good.
Melody. So Noah, you're up.
Oh, God, the picture is so amazing because nobody in the family likes her, so nobody has a picture. So it's just this weird cutoff. You kind of see her in the distance thing. And I guess like Melody looks like she'd be out of place anywhere but haunting a chifforobe, right? Like she's so archaic, she couldn't even find a modern piece of furniture to haunt. And apparently...
Is it from a Raisin in the Sun that you're haunting?
Weird. And apparently, by the way, she'd see exactly as much of her kids if she got the fuck to the haunting, right? So Melody, by all means, practice up your chain clanking technique. Ooh, you can use all the time you spent desperately alone because all your kids hate you.
Eli, this one's for you. Jared wants a roast of their brother-in-law, Phil.
Yeah. So Phil is a MAGA-loving sexist, and Jared included this Facebook post where Phil is like announcing to his social media that he sure hopes his wife fucks him for all the chores he's doing, but he's fucking up literally every chore in the post. It's like a little photo montage. He's bathing the kid. He's got the spigot just pounding down on the kid's head, soap in his eyes because he's too busy taking the fucking selfie. He's putting the trash bag they won't take in the can. He's washing the floor with a kitchen sponge. I hope Phil's wife took back a sex for this Facebook post. I hope you fucked your wife one less time because of this.
It looks like it's time for our first. This category is friends. And you know what builds the best friendships? Radical honesty.
No, it doesn't.
So I want you to
Cecil fucking lie to me, buddy.
Radically honest with the group. Tell them what they need to hear. Heath, you're first. Roast Eileen for Felix.
All right. Hey, Eileen. So, you know how people sometimes say superficial appearances don't matter. It's about how you are on the inside. You should be worried about both because your friends don't like you. It's not that you're paranoid. They just actually don't like you as a human being, like on the inside or the outside. You're not a likable or attractive person in any way.
But
wow,
other than
this
that,
is so mean. This is such a mean way to do this.
So oof. All right, I'll take the next one. This one is for Jake to roast Nathan. Hey, Jake, how hard is it looking down on someone you're supposed to look up to? He's his superior officer, and he's like a full head taller than him. Okay, Nathan, come here, buddy. Has anyone ever talked to you about your pants? I mean, here you are in your dress blues with medals falling off your chest, and you look like you rolled up your pants into a pillow and slept on them last night. You look like you looted your leg armor from a level 1 mob. Sam wants a roast of Brian, podcast host. So Noah, this one's yours.
Okay, radical honesty, Brian. I saw your picture, and apparently nobody else has the heart to tell you. You have a weird, thin strip of beard stretching from your temple to your chin that must, like, I don't know, hide behind your cheek when you look in the mirror or something. I'm not sure. There's no way somebody would do this on purpose, like such a silly and unflattering facial hair configuration. So I assume it's some kind of mirror issue. So work on that.
You got to open the thing, man.
Oof. Okay. Yep. Next up, roast Kayla for Macy, Tom.
Sure, no problem. You put out your Christmas lights before Thanksgiving, Kayla?
Fuck you, Kayla.
Really? You have nothing else to look forward to. That's it. Just fucking Christmas for 6 fucking weeks straight. And then what do you have left, Kayla? After the tinsel and the marshmallows and the cutesy fucking reindeer-themed bric-a-brac tchotchke bullshit littering your fucking house like some kind of tacky, overpriced, garish plastic holiday shrapnel. You have nothing. You have all the fucking creative soul and wit of an anonymous cinder block in an endless field of cinder blocks. You are light beige inside, you nutmeg spiced boar.
Jeez, Tom. You know, you'd if you just lightened up and lived, laughed, and loved, Tom, you would feel better.
See, I was eat, praying, and loving. I got it.
You would feel a lot better. God. Okay, Tom, another one.
Yeah.
You got to roast Philip for Macy.
Okay. Hey, guys. Hey, you know what Philip likes? Marvel movies. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. His best fucking friend in the entire world had literally endless character count to describe Philip. And we got that he likes the same movies as literally millions of other people who also like those movies. You know why? Because there's no Philip. I mean, sure, he's real and he'll probably help you move or loan you $20 or whatever, but there's nothing there. He's just a guy who likes stuff. He rhymes with every other fucking guy who likes the same popular, uninteresting, unchallenging shit they churn out en masse and sell to people without real identities so they don't go crazy like a bear in the zoo eating its own foot. So there you go, guys. Philip likes Marvel movies. And if you take that away from him, I guess he's just a guy who drinks water every day so he doesn't die.
Do bears eat their own feet sometimes?
I don't know. It was better than pace back and forth. Right. It had a little bite to it.
Okay. A big one, too, because a barefoot is not small. Yeah. All right. 2 people needing some radical honesty here, Eli. Victoria for Vincent and Vanessa for Perry.
All right.
Fucking up the alliteration there.
Radical honesty. Okay, so Victoria's a hot trumper who thinks she's a DJ. So let's start with her. Oh. Hey, Victoria, 5 years. You have 5 years of people wanting to fuck you left. That's how many you got. And Victoria, this is true. I mean this from my heart. Nobody will care if you fucking die. Because Victoria, your tits, starting at around 17, they did all the growing for you. And in 5 years, did I mention you have 5 years? 5 years max. Everyone and everything you think cares about you is going to fall away like melting snow. And ironically, so will your tits. All right, then who's... Oh, we got Vanessa. Vanessa, the trans evangelical Trump supporter, needs some radical honesty.
What?
Okay.
Hey, confusing.
Hey, Vanessa, bring it in, girl. They think you're a guy. They think you're a pervert who gets off on wearing garters and panties. And when you're not around, they warn each other about leaving you alone with their kids because they think you'll fuck them. And the minute you show even the slightest sign of being anything other than their token, the minute you refuse to pose for their fucking cultural equivalent of the college brochure, the minute you stop letting your body and your heart be used in secret by their men, they will literally fucking kill you, Vanessa.
Yeah. Yeah. And Noah, roast Cosmo's friend, Jacob.
Yeah, Cosmo gave me virtually nothing to work with here. Like, Jacob's a nice guy who trained Cosmo and looks like you haven't started fucking with your avatar yet. But okay, but I do know that he intentionally went to work for Amazon despite not being starving, right? So, Jacob, you look like you have to pee real bad, man. You look like you traded away micturation for a 90-cent an hour raise, and you're too proud to admit that was a mistake. But good luck with the bacterial retention in your bladder, dude. It'll work out well for you. Cecil, got one here for you, too. This is for Matthew. He wants his mom and stepdad roasted.
Okay. Of the three things pictured in this photo, your mom, your stepdad, and the brontosaurus from the Ark Park, the dinosaur is the best fucking parent in the photo. It has a much larger brain capacity, around walnut size, so it's better impulse control, better decision making, and when it shits out kids, at least it leaves them alone. We aren't done with Macy yet, guys. Here's another one for them. They want Philip's wife, Elia, roasted. Heath, take this one.
All right, Elia. So, you know how it looks when a celebrity appears with one of their siblings on TV, and the sibling kind of looks like the famous person, but like bad?
Yeah.
Like a bad person version. Elia is Carmelo Soprano, but bad. A really low budget version of that. She's needy Falco. Just bad.
Fantastic.
Okay. Next up, we have a slew of exes. So let's get started. Tom, signature roast here for Karen, roasting her ex-husband, Rick.
You know, I actually think I roasted Rick already. I'm pretty sure I did, but then I thought about it and then I wasn't so sure because all these fucking lazy fucking men are so blandly the same, I can't remember one from the other. And that's kind of my point, Karen. There was never anything special about Rick. Any asshole can leave you high and dry and blame you for shit they did or you did together or fucking whatever. Any asshole, in fact, will. That is standard asshole stuff. Rick's connection with his new girl isn't some all-encompassing transcendent love, or he wouldn't tell you about it, Karen. He'd just bask in the glow of it and then drive his kids to the movies. But he's that guy, Karen. He's got no connections because there's nothing unique about him to hook onto or connect with. Rick isn't worth the time it takes to roast him. He'll turn out bland no matter how much heat we fucking apply here. And not 1 minute of the effort it takes to roast him or for you to be hurt or mad or hate him is worth it because at the end of the day, you're sinking more effort into Rick than Rick has ever sunk into himself. He is a low effort, low energy, low value, bottom of the lost and found kind of guy, Karen. And even though I think that I have actually roasted him before, I really can't tell because he reeks of the same quiet desperation of every one of these fucking guys who drift their way through life. And I, for one, am sick of the stench of their mediocrity.
We
Salt,
need that
fat,
shit.
acid hate from Tom.
So good. So good. Noah, your turn. Danielle wants you to roast their ex-customer, Brian.
Oh, wow. This douchebag. So in the picture that she sent, this dude is very clearly both mansplaining and manspreading. And from what Danny says, like, that's not because, like that's because he literally never is not doing those two things, right? He's a self-important asshole who thinks he should get discounts because he's so religious, and he looks like he's waited his whole life for a chance to cock a gun and say, I'm going in.
Let's roll, or whatever.
An ex-girlfriend here, Eli, roast Tia for Peter.
Oh, Peter. Peter, I wish I had you here beside me. Not just so I could hold you in my arms, but so that everyone listening to this podcast could know just how fast you got over Tia. How long did it take, Pete? A month? 2? An especially hard yank? Because the keto evangelizing, steak slobbering asshole is as gone from your mind as she is from everyone who's ever met her. 2 years later, Pete, and I bet my left nut, the one that makes boys, the only meeting that ever happened to her is her eyebrows. Though I doubt that took 2 years to happen, Pete. I doubt that took 2 years to happen.
Roast Emma's ex for Joseph Heath, Andrew, a.k.a. Deebs.
Okay, Andrew Deebs, whatever the fuck. Dude, just be bald. Just be bald. You're bald. That giant mop of lower neck hair, not fooling anyone. Nobody's looking at your hairline that starts on, the area behind your ears and neck and saying, yeah, that averages out. That's not bald, right? If you count both parts, it's just like normal amount of hair. But I got a neck beard mullet. Nope, not how it works. You're bald. You're a bald man. Just accept it. You're bald.
Okay, I'm going to take Brian Canto for Lauren. So this guy's such a coward. He pieces out of his own relationship with his wife and his daughter without a word, or his car keys, or his pack of cigarettes. He just fucking jumps out the side of a window like he's robbing a house. Then, after there are tons of, have you seen this guy stories for like a year, he shows back up when his wife wants to divorce a missing person. Here's the thing, Brian, you fucking coward. They did a shit ton of stories about you going missing, but I couldn't find a single one about someone caring that they found you.
Wow. Yes, that's great.
Okay, last 5. I'll go first with a roasted Jameson for his mother, Carol. So 2 photos included here. Jameson is wearing a coconut bra, and it looks like he's trying on moob armor for a risque fantasy photo shoot there. And the other, he's kissing, I guess, an intramural trophy. I'm not sure. I know this is a little too much information, Carol, but that's how he makes out with his fleshlight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Kid, you look like the star of a Seth Rogen movie where the whole plot is the mystery of how he's dating a hot girl. That's the entire plot. It's like King of Queens. Like you're the guy in King of Queens.
You're the Duke of Queens.
And Tom, you're up. Chris wants a roast of Paul and Michelle.
Okay, Paul and Michelle are psychologists with Chris at a correctional facility in Ontario, and they just sound fucking lazy. And don't get me wrong, I am all for laziness. I am a huge fucking fan of laziness. But if you want to be fucking lazy, there is a time and place. And the place for being lazy is not in that place where everyone is literally counting on you and maybe people die if you don't help them. That's not your lazy place, assholes. Your lazy place is at home on your day off when you're wearing sweatpants with a big stain on the left leg and a t-shirt that's so old it's got more holes in it than actual coverage area, but they've also been washed so often they're softer than mulberry silk. That's your fucking lazy time. Lazy time is not when you're working at a fucking correctional facility as a goddamn psychologist. That seems like the time to get to fucking work, helping people or finding a new job. Jesus Christ, you two, you're Canadian. How fucking hard can you work in Canada anyway?
Any topic or person, go for it.
All right. How about I do people too lazy to come up with their own fucking roast topics? It's not bad enough that I gotta find something to say about your boring ass generic looking relative, but now I gotta come up with the motherfucker too. Jesus, I can't be trusted with this kind of autonomy. I fucking hate everything, and you're a part of everything, you asshole. Fuck you, your lazy cop out bullshit. Apparently, you're so bland that you don't even have anything interesting to hate, so you fired a gun straight up in the air and told the bullet to pick its own target. Jesus Christ.
Noah,
That is...
Noah,
I love you right now.
that is amazing, but in irony's sense, you should have roasted Heath based on last week's.
Oh, God. That was seriously fucking top shelf right there. That's amazing. All right, last one is also a wild card. And it's for our favorite wild card, Heath.
Ooh.
But Heath, I know it's a wild card, but I would love it if you roasted James Lindsay's 200,000 like celebratory.
I was gonna do it.
Yes.
Post. I was already gonna do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, it's so good. It's
Fucking
amazing.
Jimmy Concepts over there making an Axe Kata post. Now, all right, I feel like Cecil's making fun of it, but I think we all did learn a valuable lesson from that about what to do when you get attacked by an angry mob of invisible zombie ballerinas in slow motion underwater. And that's important. That's an important thing to learn. First, here's what you do. First, you call timeout so you can, change into your Adidas warm-up pants that match your Adidas Samba shoes. Because, of course, you are an anti-feminist mathematician American white guy who plays a lot of indoor soccer. So if you're rocking those Sambas, you need your Adidas warm-up pants to match. So, okay, now you call time in. Well, no, you know what? Keep it a timeout. You're going to make a rule now about only attacking one at a time. That's the rule. And also, this is key, clockwise only. It's going to be clockwise. This is America. There are rules. And once you get started with the fight, you want to make sure you do lots of light pushing with the wide top of your axe. That's your power move. You're going to generate the most power from the wide top of an axe. So you want to do a lot of strikes like that. Well, not quite strikes, but light pushes, like I said. And most importantly, there will be a conceptual penis hovering around trying to fuck your face at the end for most of your life. So you'll need to close it out with a very deep squat. Or a plie, as the zombie ballerinas call it. Plie right there at the end. I need to add one other detail that I learned about today. Somebody tweeted me a video of him doing another kata with a comically oversized sword. I'm talking about like Mitsurugi, like you can't carry it level size sword.
Like Final Fantasy VII levels.
Yes, it is one of those. It's fucking priceless.
It's like Cloud Sword.
It's like that. And not like exaggerate. I'm not like, oh, it's as big as. No, it's that. It's actually that big.
God.
And he's just slowly pushing it around and getting tired. He vomits at one point, I'm pretty sure, when he hits the pop and goes back in.
What a fucking clown. Thank you, Heath. It was everything I hoped it would be. Amazing.
That was me kissing. I kissed you, Cecil.
Guys, thank you all so much for your patience. Everyone who sent in a roast, thank you all for your patience. We went through these as quickly as we could. And also, Scathing guys, thanks for coming on. And Eli, you too.
Thanks for having us, man.
I was also here.
So no email this week or patrons, Tom, because we recorded very early. So we didn't get we have email, but we don't have a ton of email. We want to save the email for next week. And we also didn't get our patron list. We normally read that on Thursdays. There's no live stream. There was no live stream this last week. Go watch the previous one, though, because it was super funny with the guy who was singing. It was so much fun. So go check that out. But we will be doing a live stream again this upcoming week on Thursday night. So you can catch us anywhere that you normally watch the live stream, which would be YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. I think maybe Twitter. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if you go to Twitter, you can definitely get a link. But check us out, 9 p.m. Central Time. We normally go on for about an hour, hang out with fans, and just chit-chat. And then we normally cover a story or two. We have a good time.
It's a fun time. It's different than the regular show.
Yeah, it's very different than the regular show. Sometimes we eat a candy bar. It's weird.
It's a fun vibe.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Check it out. Go back. Check us out on those places, or you can watch the show. Watch the show after it. You can watch the live stream after it happens. So we also want to thank the Scathing, Puzzle, and the Thunderstorm guys for coming on and for doing this big, long charity drive with us. You know, they invited us on to join them, and it was really awesome the first time they asked us to do it, and they've been asking us to come on every time. It was their idea to start this whole thing, their idea for the entire roast stuff, and we've just been tagging along on their coattails and just having a blast, and we are so happy that they've included us in this. They did a great job of organizing it, and we helped organize it for the past couple of times. And we hope to be involved in the future because it's just such a great time. But we want to thank them for coming on our show. Every time we had to do some roasts, we did a ton of roasts with them this year, and we're so happy that they joined us each time. That is going to wrap it up for this week. We're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, water downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death and towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards, vaccine nuts, shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands. Bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
The opinions and information provided on this podcast are intended for entertainment purposes only. All opinions are solely that of Glory Hole Studios, LLC. Cognitive Dissonance makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, currentness, suitability, or validity of any information and will not be liable for any errors, damages, or butthurt arising from consumption. All information is provided on an as-is basis. No refunds. Produced in association with the local Dairy Council and viewers like you.